Now we're going to get on the train heading slightly north away from the Mediterranean area. We're heading north to the beautiful city of Lyon. The trains of Europe really give you a nice smooth ride, and they pass through this lovely countryside, this great scenery, and the tracks are all welded so there's no clickety-clack as you go. And you see how we're beating the cars on the highways and arriving in the heart of the city of Lyon. We're going to show you the old town, and we're going to show you the new town as well. The whole center of town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I'm standing in the heart of the old town of Lyon. This is on Rue de Boeuf. It's one of several streets that are for pedestrians only. A few cars come through, of course, and scooters and delivery trucks, but by and large, this is a quiet and peaceful pedestrian zone. Very ancient. It dates back to the Middle Ages, probably 600, 700 years old in some cases. It's been designated by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, showing the importance and the beauty and the historic quality of this amazing neighborhood. There's maybe 5 or 6 main lanes like this that run through it, and some smaller cross alleys, and then some very narrow passageways, which is one of the unique qualities of the old town of Lyon. They're really corridors through buildings, covered passageways, and they're semi-public. You can walk through if you can find them. Some of the entrances are open and you can see these little passageways from the streets. Others are closed by a door, but it's unlocked, and you're certainly allowed to walk through there as a public right-of-way. Again, if you can find them, it's a little bit of a trick, but it's part of the charm of this old town. In the main lanes, these half a dozen main pedestrian lanes are lined, of course, with shops, with art galleries, antique stores. There's a few hotels here and quite a few restaurants and bars and cafes. It's an extensive zone. It goes for nearly a mile in length, and it's about 4 blocks wide. Any time of day, it's interesting. We're here right now in the morning, actually before the shops have opened. So there's just a few people walking by. 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the morning. It's a nice time to be out here to see it. And then the shops open at about 10 a.m. and stay open till 6 or 7 p.m. And the restaurants are generally open for lunch from 12 to 2, and then for dinner from 7 p.m. till 10:30. But you will find some cafes that are open all day, and some brasseries, some creperies that can serve you a light meal anytime you please between 12 noon and midnight. So there's a lot of dining and snacking opportunities here, and shopping, of course, but mostly sightseeing, just strolling and enjoying the historic character of these narrow alleys. And as you'll see, it's just a great place to take a walk. It's a real medieval experience that you don't get to see in very many places in Europe. There might be a couple dozen spots like this on the continent. So this is one of those very special places. Inside these ancient buildings, there's a lot of modern things going on, such as this artist studio. There are dozens of art galleries in this old section of town, and there are some parks. The hill is quite lovely and landscaped with these waterfalls and shrubbery, and staircases will lead you right up the hill if you choose to go that way. The heart of the old town is the cathedral. This was built in the 13th through the 15th centuries and right on up through the 17th century until they finally finished it. And the old town grew up around the cathedral. So you have this medieval atmosphere every place, especially in the traboules. These are the passageways that go through the mid-blocks and connect into the inner courtyards and lead you up to the residential apartment blocks that are behind these commercial facades. This old section along Rue Saint-Jean especially is so attractive during the day as well as at night. And of course there's many restaurants you can pick from. Now we've hopped back over to the newer section of town and passing through the Café Anglais and checking out the metro. They have a nice metro system, as well as a funicular that could take you up this hill, or you can walk up the hill for a spectacular view out across the city, especially interesting at sunset. Next morning we're up and we're ready to check out of our Hotel Boscolo. This has been a very nice stay in Lyon, and the Boscolo Grand Hotel was a nice 4-star home away from home. But it's time to leave and move along. We're zipping by taxi over to the train station. And here you pass through another section of the newer part of town. Some very modern buildings. Check out these mirrors. Although in this neighborhood over towards the train station, there's really not much to see. So we hop on our train and go.